Hi, I'm Stuart and welcome to SIRENNET Television. We're going to be going across to see what young Chris is up to over at StarCar. He's going to be showing us a 2016 Dodge Charger. Pacific build is a somewhat unusual video to a degree because we're going to take a look at the vehicle unfinished and then we're going to take a look at the vehicle finished, and then Chris is going to give us a very interesting tutorial about some of the components that we used in this particular vehicle. So from the studios of SIRENNET Television, let's go outside to our intrepid field reporter, Chris. So let's go ahead and check it out right now.
Well, thank you, Stuart, and thank you for joining us here at Star Cars, where the gang is working on another Dodge Charger. This happens to be a 2016 spec, and with our presentations, you're used to seeing Dodge Chargers. It's probably the most popular sedan up here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. Well, for this vehicle here, it is put together with a new warning system. So you'll see that here at the end of our presentation and as the guys are working on it. It's a system that's put together primarily of dual and tricolor products. So that'll give the car a lot of advantages when it comes to the warning and secondary system. Also on the inside, some new prisoner transportation equipment as well. So go ahead, get started, give you a look at the car as the guys are working on it now. In the front valance, an SNSP1 100-watt Siren speaker behind the grille, a pair of tricolor N-Force lights from Sound Off Signal, and wrapping around to the sides of the front, Phoenix cannons for warning and illumination. On the roof of the Charger, a Liberty 2 light bar from Whelen Engineering, and moving down onto the inside of the Charger, you can see that the guys working away on wiring. Center console's already been mounted. A lot is still to go. Zip ties, wiring harnesses, and a lot of connections. But you'll be seeing that here through the install process. Moving to the back seat of the Charger, the gang has already installed a ProGuard prisoner transport partition. Back seat yet to be installed. With it out of the way, there is plenty of room for working on the power distribution and wiring. Austin right now happens to be hidden away in the trunk working on all of those tedious connections. While Austin's hidden away in the trunk being a wizard of wiring, show you some lighting that's been added down here on the rear of the Charger. License plate bracket with another pair of Phoenix cannons. And then moving over here, programming being done in regards to the CenCom Sapphire that's going to control the whole system. So what's being worked on now is the software programming end, where we're going in, configuring the flash patterns for the overhead light bar and button configuration. So Devin, the program that you're using here for configuring the Charger and its products, can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's a great program by Whelen, and it's right now I'm programming the Duo light bar.
Okay.
So I just easily import it under the design a light bar, and from here I just can select all the different flash patterns, position 1, 2, 3. Since this is a duo bar, it also has white lights in the front, so the customer wants to utilize that and sort of do like a scene light, do all the whites on the front of the bar, really light up the area in front of them.
So this is just an easy way to go in and avoid having to program it with a bunch of wires. It's just a software system. You can configure everything, save it, download it in, and it's good to go.
Exactly. It works flawlessly with the Sapphire. It's just, 3 wires off the light bar that plug into the Sapphire. All the programming is done straight from this, so no more pattern selects and 26 wires and all that.
So what do you prefer? Do you like conventional wiring and pattern changing through just manipulation, or do you like the software system?
Oh, the software is much easier. Yeah, I can manipulate, tell what outputs to come on with what and what to turn off with others, so it's much easier.
Well, Devin, Danny, Austin, the rest of the team at Star Cars have finished up the wrenching and the wiring on the Dodge Charger. It has turned out absolutely wonderful, and as you can see, very nice and bright. We'll take you for a trip around the car now. So getting started down here at the front fascia, we have our tricolor N-Force grille lights blasting away. So red, white, and blue, absolutely wonderful. On the sides of the front fascia, we have the Phoenix cannons, and we'll show you a couple of trick functions that those have been wired up to do for us when it comes to this car. Over here, we have the driver's side spotlight equipped with one of the Whelen 2-degree LED spotlights. This happens to be a par 46. Up here on the roof, we have a wonderful Duo Liberty 2 light bar from Whelen Engineering. Some really trick functions that this can offer us. Moving down to the deck lid, shrouded N-Force lights, very, very useful here. Again, a secondary illumination function that we'll get to in a second. ULF-44 flasher module, custom installed by the gang here at Star Cars for flashing of the OEM LED taillight ring. And down here on the license plate, getting back to our Phoenix cannons with the modified bracket. Moving into the transport area on our 2016 Charger, we have used two wonderful pieces of equipment to create this contained area. From ADEC, a contoured transport seat that happens to completely replace the factory seat, convenient extended center belts, and grab handles on the shoulder belts. Also, you'll notice with the seat, a contoured inset. When it comes to the front partition, this does a wonderful job of closing off the back from the front. Polycarbonate window, great visibility, a full roll bar that wraps all the way to the sides and atop the headliner, so a very nice tight fit. Polycarbonate side wings that wrap off the sides, and a very convenient recessed panel. So this is a great feature to have when it comes to the weapon mount system in the front. Another thing that we have done when it comes to this ProGuard transport partition is we have elected to use what is referred to as a tall man's variant. So this kicks back further than a standard partition, allowing full travel room for the driver and passenger seat. So when you are a tall statured officer, this is a wonderful partition to have in your cruiser. From the driver's seat, MDT mount for our computer system affixed to our equipment console, mounts for radios, CenCom SIRENNET lighting controller, storage cubby, convenient cup holder, armrest, and around the back, weapon mount system. With a look at the outs and ins on our patrol Charger, gonna tie over now to the lighting system. So we'll show you the progressive 1, 2, 3 and how the system changes across the front and the back. We'll also show you the secondary functions that are very useful when it comes to this Charger and how they relate to the products that have been used. The warning system has been wired up to the CenCom Sapphire so that with the flip of the progressive switch, position 1 activates rear safety lighting. Position 2 ties in for the 360 for the warning system. So as you can see, grille lights, side lights, overhead, and additional rear lights. In position 3, we'll activate white functions in the overhead light bar and on the front and rear of the car through the Phoenix cannons. Also automatically engaged is the vehicle's siren tone. It can be disengaged through a double tap on the vehicle steering wheel, and also a tail cut is automatically activated. With the push of a button by the operator, you can deactivate the tail cut, activating your full warning system. The CenCom SIRENNET lighting controller, in addition to the progressive switch, offers a convenient center rotary knob for activating siren tones. Hands-free in the top, which allows for siren tone activation through the horn ringer. Manual mode allows for buttons to be activated on the side. PA allows you to activate the microphone affixed to the CenCom for broadcast needs. And radio allows for repeating of the vehicle's in-car radio system. For siren tones, position 1, 2, and 3 available through the rotary knob. The buttons on the top allow for activating additional functions on the cruiser. Alley light control, front takedowns, and nice thing about the buttons is everything can be operated independently. Cruise light mode, which glows the corners on the overhead light bar for a nice presence for the Charger. Tail light cut that we showed you tying into position 3. Front scene, which activates a secondary mode for the overhead Liberty 2 bar and the Phoenix cannons, also the N-Force front grille lights. Low power button activates the high-low and function manually in our overhead light bar, allowing the end user to tone it down for nighttime operations. Auxiliary 1 is a timed button that's tied into the weapons mount system. So with that, convenient button activates an inline timer, releasing the lock. And through activating the scene front button, the overhead Liberty 2, Phoenix cannons on the side of the front valance, and N-Force lights in the front grille override to white for a wonderful illumination. Through the push buttons on the bottom of the CenCom, it allows for easy operation of the traffic advisor function in the rear of the light bar. Digital indicators shows the operator what the traffic advisor is doing and the direction in which it's flashing. The operator can also activate a flashing function should they need to have a large amber cautionary display on the back of the cruiser. Well, there you have it, a look at a 2016 Dodge Charger ready to hit the streets here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. As usual, the gang at Star Cars, Doug, Ted, Devin, Danny, Austin have done a wonderful job. I know I am absolutely in love with this Dodge Charger, how it turned out, and everything that it can offer. I'm Chris. Thanks for joining us here at SIRENNET Installations. Back to you, Stuart.
Well, there you have it. Young Chris, looking great as always, over at Star Car, giving us a very detailed report on the build of a 2016 Dodge Charger. I'm Stuart here in the main center of SIRENNET television world. You're watching us on YouTube and around the world in different exotic places. Hopefully have a great day. Thanks for watching.